Hi, mentor debrief in test standards 6 through 8.
Yeah. All right. So I just watched the video
Yep.
and I saw your reflection on it. So I guess we'll just go through the evaluation.
Yeah.
So for the first criteria in Standard 6 assessment 1, does the candidate use both formative and summative assessments that are aligned to learning objectives to support and verify, blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
And I gave you outstanding for that because
good.
I really liked, I like how you opened with the Wayground.
Yeah.
And it's a nice way to, it's a nice review, and it's also a nice way to get some formative assessment feedback, I guess. So yeah, effectively balances the use of objective, aligned, formative, and summative assessments. And then also throughout the lesson, when you had them going up to the board and annotating, that's a type of formative assessment too. You're just observing them and seeing what they've learned.
Yeah.
So you can keep track of, monitor their progress that way. So I thought that was good. Yeah, especially since one of the things we've been talking about the whole time is the formative process, formative assessment process. So it looks like you definitely focused on that.
Yay.
Assessment 2, analyzing data to meet learning objectives and student learning needs. Does the candidate use the data obtained from assessments to monitor learner progress and guide planning to better meet the needs of the learner? That I gave you proficient.
Okay.
The reason I didn't go higher was because, like, one of the things with using the Wayground at the beginning of the lesson is you don't really have time to reflect on the results, to look at the results.
True.
So it's not like you're using that data to inform your instruction for the day.
Okay.
So, and then your grouping was by table. I don't know if you had planned ahead and moved their seating around.
I did.
Okay.
Their grouping is based on their reading and their writing test scores. So from progress learning and writable, where they've been doing their argumentative, I wanted to group some high, medium, and lows together, right? And keeping the ones together still that needed a little additional practice, but I try to group them specifically because of their test scores, so previous data that they've done, and I've used progress learning this whole time.
Okay. So that's
so
good.
That way I knew in their groups, then within their groups later they could choose who's the project manager, who's the facilitator, right, depending on which
So you
areas.
did get to kind of give them the opportunity to do the things that they need to do, that they did their best at.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Well, that's good. I didn't know that.
yeah, but does that always show in a lesson, that
Or in a
background
video,
planning? Yeah. Even if for me I feel like I struggle with the collaborative piece with families and colleagues. I'm like, how do you show that in a video?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, did your families get that newsletter? Did your parents, you know what I mean? Maybe it's something you have to ask the class, but I always wonder on that piece, like, how do you show that you are communicating across the board?
Yeah, you probably can't.
No, that
Unless
maybe.
you're like, remember that email that I sent your mom?
Yeah.
Okay, the next category, does the candidate make proper accommodations and modifications of testing conditions? I didn't really see any special accommodations made for the testing. Everybody kind of did the same thing.
Yeah.
I guess in the...
I always give them more time. I don't tell accommodations times. A lot of them need extended time. So a lot of these quizzes could take 5 minutes. So I give it to 15. So I do accommodate that way.
Yeah,
but
I do that too.
And I think sometimes built into Wayground, it has like read alouds available, hints, or, you know what I mean? So there's stuff built in, but you don't always see it. So, but differentiating, I feel like I still need to do better. And sometimes I give them all the same graphic organizer. Some of them will use it, but some of them won't. You know what I mean? They're like, do I have to fill this out? I'm like, it's just a guide for those that I know can do it on their own, but I don't want to single anyone out either, because sometimes they get embarrassed. So I do give them those, so differentiate, but is it specific to that person? Not always.
Yeah. So hard to do. I give class notes to my classes for the
Yeah.
ones who don't take good notes.
Yeah.
So, but I'd give it to everybody.
Yeah, right. Because I think that's good practice, though.
All right. So I rated that proficient.
Okay.
Planning for instruction, evidence-based instructional strategies. Does the candidate utilize evidence-based instructional strategies and technology to plan effective instruction that supports each student in meeting rigorous learning profiles or goals? I went proficient on that one too. Rigor is a funny thing. Making it challenging enough.
Yeah.
Really kind of keeping them at that upper level of like stretching them to make it not too hard. You're not looking to make it hard, but you're looking to make it challenging and engaging. So I wasn't sure if I could go outstanding on that.
Okay.
But it was good.
And I think it depends on what lesson I'm at, because I always start small and then big, right, or low to high. So I always start with like with the arguments, start with a bunch of different phrases, right, an argument, counter argument kind of thing, like fashion brands benefit our lives, and give them different little claims and counterclaims, and they kind of have to start with just a statement. Then we look at an article, like a short passage of an article. Then we look at a whole article or a whole speech. So I scaffold it that way, so I don't know if that's challenging or rigor, but I feel like they have to be able to grasp it, on a small scale, and then slowly,
It's supporting
build
them
it.
through the process.
Yeah, because these are all new concepts that a lot of times they've never done before.
Yeah.
Or just never broke it down enough. But I definitely need to challenge the higher ones too, and I feel like I just treat them all the same.
That's so hard not
So
to do.
yeah, and
It's
I'm
hard
always
to
like, I
avoid.
think I do all this extra rigor and planning for all of them, but I feel like,
Yeah.
it's the low 25 that I try to focus on.
Right. Yeah. It's
But-
a numbers game too. We can only all we can do is do our best, right? It's like we just
They're better than when they came in.
and we try to do better every year.
Yeah. No,
Um,
this helps. It's a lot.
Planning for instruction. Sequencing of learning. Does the candidate utilize assessment data and knowledge of student interest? Now, talking to you now, knowing, you had done the different types of seating grouping ahead of time and you had based it on progress learning and, you had, you can't really see it
No.
in the video. I would increase that to outstanding. It sounds like you're really doing what you need to do.
But in the lesson plans, is it clear in my lesson plans that it shows that, or do I need to specify in there?
I mean, are you supposed to write seating arrangements on your lesson plans?
If that's another thing that I can do to show that I am planning and
Like
using
how
the
you formed your
evidence-based and
groups?
data-driven, yeah, so I'll just make a note to that to add more the groupings, right? How do I,
Because you definitely, there was evidence of using small groups, which is really effective. I like the way the lesson was laid out. The sequence made sense. The students were engaged.
yeah,
So, just showing. It's saying, does the candidate utilize assessment data and knowledge of student interest to plan appropriate sequencing? Like, student interest also, but
yeah,
but if you're saying that they were able to choose the role that they were playing on their teams, that's that's addressing that.
okay.
It's not saying like my favorite color is blue, but
yeah,
as far as the types of learning that they like to engage in, their learning styles or their preferences as far as the roles that they play in a group.
right. Well, and I had given a survey with one of my other data-driven assessments and how to collect data, and I did give them a survey on what was the best way that they thought that they learned, and they said it was digital interactive, like all those little things online, or gamifying. They said they learned better that way. So I was like, okay, well now I have to add it in there. They asked for it,
I do a
So-
lot of just independent research kind of work too.
Yeah, well, I
Right.
give them that too because they need a balance of all of it.
Mhm.
But you know,
The
I try to
next
listen.
category,
Mhm.
adjusting to student learning needs. Does the candidate monitor student learning, apply appropriate instructional strategies, and adjust instruction based on assessment data to support student learning? That I scored basic. I
Okay.
didn't really. It says well, why did I do that? The candidate monitors learning but does not use the resulting data to make adjustments in instruction or apply appropriate strategies to support student learning. I mean, now it sounds like you do, but during the course of the lesson,
Though you don't see it.
I didn't see it.
Okay.
I felt like I had to give at least one non-perfect thing.
It's fine. But that's something too that I can go back and make sure, am I actually doing it? Am I putting it in my lesson plan? Did I actually review their data from the previous class or the previous lesson to change anything, right? For different needs, right? For the kids that are learning or aren't, right?
Yeah.
The ones that are high flyers,
I
are
would
they
rate
getting
them.
whatever? Yeah.
And I would rate myself the same way, honestly. It's hard to develop a plan when you've got this many kids in a classroom to where you're really giving each individual student something
Mhm.
different. Okay, in task standard 8, instructional strategies, higher order questioning, higher order thinking skills. When you had the kid up at the board, I did see you asking questions like, why did you do that? What is the reason for
Okay.
your responses and the way that you're answering things? And that's higher order thinking.
Okay.
So I said proficient on that one. So what went well, I didn't finish writing the whole thing, but I thought that the lesson was well structured.
Okay.
I know that it's edited. You've got the little part. Oh, and I like the way the video's edited with the little with the music in between.
Yeah, because after a while you don't want to hear it.
No, I like the elevator music. I like opening with the way ground, as I told
Okay.
you. How are you able to? My question: how are you able to use a warm up like this to inform your instruction on the same day? Is there any way to get into those numbers and see, like, if so and so scored really, really high, you know they're good.
Yeah.
And then somebody else only got like 2 or 3 questions right.
Well, what's nice about it is it'll give a score of how many they got right and how many they got wrong. It also gives them like these little balloons too, like the warrior, like the person who tried the most and made the most game. That has like diamond, gold, like who's in every tier, word warrior. Like it does celebrate what they're doing well, and I usually give them prizes for the top 3. But is that quick little formative data, but I don't think I really use it as far as
Like being able to respond to the ones that didn't do well.
yes. But a lot of times previously I had it unlimited, and it would give them the answers or a hint after, or they'd give them a little game to unlock another. So it wasn't until recently that I told them, okay, it's one and done now. Now we've been practicing, but now it's getting closer to the state test in Cambridge. Now it's one attempt because it's not going to be like the end of the year. You're like, oh, well, Miss Canada gives me 3 attempts. So can I try it again? I was like, no, now we got to rip off the Band-Aid and you got to know it the first time. So now, because before it was kind of like a review, now I'm really forcing them to study and make sure they know what the concepts are.
But are you counting it as a quiz score, or is it just a warm up?
So on the days that I do have the quizzes, it is a grade.
So that was a quiz score.
Yeah.
What needs to be improved? I guess for all of us, it's always that differentiation piece.
Yeah, and I made a note of that.
Yeah, it's really
Yeah.
like what word am I looking for? Just like custom designing individual plans for different subgroups within the class.
Yeah.
Like I don't know if you could do every one person, like something different for every one person, but maybe
No, I
cluster
think it's
some
just
of them
like
into-
different exceptions. Like if it's an essay and they're supposed to write one prompt, maybe give them a few to choose from. or you know what I mean, or give them different topics of their interest. And
Yeah,
they
but
might
it's also
like more.
knowing what they're good at and what they need work on.
Yeah, so that's where the data and checking that and grouping them and then reviewing the data to see, okay, where are they at? What can I do to support them specifically? Sometimes it's just an organizer with sentence starters or an outline, you know what I mean? But we tend to do it for everyone sometimes. Yeah, that is hard. I still do struggle with that.
Is it even, I mean, I probably shouldn't be saying this.
You're
This
good.
could be comments on reflection or whatever. This is part of the reflection.
Yeah.
But is it even possible? Like this trend in education to really customizing everything to the individual.
Mm-hmm.
It seems almost unattainable.
Yeah.
It's so, like,
Yeah.
I guess I'd like to see a teacher do it consistently and doing it well.
Right.
Because I don't think I do it as well as I could.
Yeah, well, and I think, like, you might do it for one topic or one lesson, but do we do it for all of them? You know what I mean? It's just one of those things that you don't think about day to day when you're just in the grind, trying to get through everything. And it's time, right? Time
makes
is
sense.
always an enemy, I know for me.
Well, yeah,
Sure.
time for planning and it's
Because all that has to be in planning. So if you don't take that time during the planning or common planning or whatever, like, but we have so many other things to do on top of it that it's hard.
makes you wish, makes you miss the old days when you had like that mean teacher with the yardstick, just like try harder.
Yeah. Cool. Definitely. Yeah. I don't know. It definitely would do better out of fear, but is that the best?
Absolutely not.
No. Well,
All right.
thank you so much. I appreciate it. This does help.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah.
Cool. Good.
Yeah, I think so. I think it helps both of us.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
good for me to be thinking about things too.
You're like, oh yeah. Do I do that?
Right now, all I do is work on the yearbooks. So
I know.
I've got my kids working on projects pretty independently.
Okay. How do you differentiate that?
Well, it is
I just
differentiation.
said
Everybody's doing something different.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're going. Thank
Thank
you.
you.